We welcome you in this series of interviews that we do in this era of pandemic, actually, with the help of technology. Karwar National Economic Daily is the first economic daily newspaper in Nepal, which has its online version, which has its English online version, which has Karwar TV also. So we have print Nepali version and English and Nepali online version and television also. So we do this interview regularly. This time we welcome you, Djamel Agaouaf, the CEO of Rakuten Viber. Let's start with the recent developments that Fiverr has cut its ties with Facebook and a lot of others as well. But what are the potential implications that you see that Fiverr cutting all business ties with Facebook uh, in terms of endorsements, in terms of popularity, in terms of sales? What do you think? What?
Well, maybe I should explain the decision and why we came to this decision. We were in business relationship with Facebook for basically three activities. We were advertising on Facebook. We were using a content platform called Giphy that got acquired by Facebook. And we were using Facebook Connect to allow our users to upload basically their profile data, picture and profile information on Viber quicker. So it was not a very deep cooperation, but it was a little bit of convenience for our users. And in the light of the events that happened in the US, where there was a lot of tension after the killing of some African Americans by the police, there was a lot of hate speech and violent speeches that have been broadcasted on Facebook and other social networks coming from a lot of sources, including some, unfortunately, some official people. And most of the social networks have a very strict policy, just like Viber. Violent speeches and racist speeches are not authorized, and they are usually blocked, together with obvious fake and dangerous news. And Facebook has taken a very different position. They have decided and they have expressed a position by the voice of their CEO, Mark Zuckerberg. They expressed their position saying that they were not the arbiter of truth, and it was not their role to moderate or block that kind of content. And this for us was a line that we couldn't cross. We couldn't get associated anymore to that kind of policy, because at Viber we care very much about these principles. We think that a social platform like Viber, Facebook, Twitter, and Google we all have a social responsibility. We must have a social responsibility because our platform reach billions of people, not millions, not hundreds of thousands, but billions of people. So any wrong content, violent content could be broadcast to billions of people. So we have a responsibility to make our best effort to control those dangerous speeches or dangerous content. Facebook policy is their strategy, their policy. I mean, I'm not in a role to judge them whatsoever. It's just that we didn't want Viber to be associated anymore in any way to this company, and then we have decided to remove Facebook Connect from our apps. This has been done. We have decided to remove Giphy from our apps as well. That Giphy is no longer a GIF platform that you can use to send GIFs in a chat. We have other partners, global and local, that can be used. And we have decided to stop indefinitely all advertising on Facebook platform, Facebook, Instagram, and others, without any limitation in time in this position.
But there is this people saying that you are competitors, like Facebook and Viber. They are competitors. So would you still have taken the decision to cut off business ties with Facebook if you weren't direct competitor in many geographies? Isn't your decision more like a way to competitive advantage rather than protect Viber's users?
Well, it's funny because we didn't hear that when we were working with Facebook, right? We have been working with them for the three topics that I've mentioned for years, and nobody came to me saying, "Well, it's your competition. Why are you working with them?" We are not. It's not working with Facebook. We're talking about Facebook users here. So we have nothing against Facebook users. I mean, and we're not even saying that people should stop to use Facebook for this reason. People should use more Viber because it's the best product, it's a better product, but not because of this. We are not after Facebook users. We have a problem with Facebook policy. So obviously, we have some competition with Facebook, and they are our main competition on this. But Facebook has so many activities that they are competitors with a lot of people, and a lot of other brands that have also taken the same position are actually competing with Facebook as well, because in the world today in 2020, um, somewhere you compete with Facebook, Google, and Amazon, because those companies have so many businesses that there is whatever you do in life. I mean, I'm sure you compete with those guys as well. So, so everybody's competing with those people, and it's not because of this that we are making our decision or strategy. I mean, as I said, we look at the users' interest. We have been working with Facebook Connect, for example, for years because we thought it was more convenient for users to upload their profile. And we are sorry to honestly to add to that we have removed this function because we try to be as to increase convenience, not to decrease convenience. We simply had to make this decision because our brand cannot be associated, cannot be compared to a company having that policy regarding hate speeches and moderation of content. We have a very different policy, and my main objective is to make clear that social networks are not all the same. And of course, you can say it's competition, but it's also very important for me not to be taken with this storm. I don't want anyone to say, well, social networks are all the same. We are not all the same. Twitter has done effort to flag or ban or stop content coming from the highest authority of the US just because they thought it was their responsibility. I don't know if you read, but yesterday actually there was another situation, and another content has been posted by by the president of the United States, which has been flagged and immediately banned by YouTube and Twitter as fake content regarding COVID-19. So it's a dangerous content considering the situation. And unfortunately, Facebook let the content be shared to more than 13 million people before they started even to move. And we cannot say it's a technical issue. Facebook is very respectful and very competent company in terms of technology. So it's a strategy. It's a policy, and it's their characteristic.
Though you said that each social messaging platform or social sites, social media sites are different, but who else do you think are your direct competitors? Because you all have something or other different, but you all are competing in this with the same people.
No,
Finally,
obviously, Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp are a major competition. That's obvious. I mean, um, once more, it's not because they're in competition that we are acting like this. I mean, we never until a month ago we had some cooperation with the Facebook Galaxy, despite the fact that our main competition is Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. And but competition is fine. I mean, we have no problem or no issue with competition, and we have no problem or no issue with Facebook users. Once more, it's simply the fact that our brand, we don't want our brand to be mixed with Facebook brand. We don't want anyone to think that our policy is comparable to Facebook policy on those topics. At Viber, we do a lot. We do a lot of effort, a lot of investment to identify violent or content that could have some very bad consequences on people. For example, especially in the COVID-19 situation, we have made tremendous effort to partner with local authorities in a lot of countries and with global organizations like WHO to provide the best content ever for information to inform the users about the COVID-19 situation globally and locally with local languages. And what happened yesterday in the US is another example of the consequences if you don't do those efforts. 13 million people in the US saw some fake news promoting some drug that have been proven not to work by thousands of authorities around the world. And those 13 million people saw it on one platform only, not on Viber, not on Google, not on Twitter. So that's the situation, and we think it's very important for us to play this game and to make as much effort as possible to protect our users.
Since we are also newspapers, we are also not feeling good with this fake news and promotion of such fake news. We also don't want to promote such. But what do you think the Viber users will react? How do you think they will react? How much does it affect the Viber users?
Well, once more, I do apologize to the users, to the 5 to 10% users who are using Facebook Connect. First of all, for those users, they won't have any impact because once the profile is uploaded to the app, there is no other value to use Facebook Connect. I do apologize to the future 5 to 10% new users that will have to maybe upload their profile picture in a couple of taps instead of one, and we'll do our best to compensate with other convenient features. In terms of GIF, we have plenty of very good partners, and we know that users will find whatever they need to express their emotions in their chat. I also think that people care about those topics, especially our users, especially our employees. Viber is a very diverse company. Viber is a company providing a product to people all around the world, all religions, all colors, all genders. We are the most diverse company in the world, and most of our users care about have an interest in international topics because some of them have family immigrants immigrated in other countries, and they stay connected with these families with Viber. So they care about those topics of immigration and race and things like that. So I hope that this lack of convenience that we have triggered by making this decision will be compensated by the fact that our users will be proud of us to stand for our values, and our values are strong, and we want them to know that our values are strong.
What would be the potential benefits of such a decision for Viber, actually?
Of what, sorry?
What would be the potential benefits for the Viber with such decision that you cut ties and you want to grow your own user base?
Well, we are growing our own user base without Facebook for long now. And especially in Nepal, for example, we have seen about 20% growth in Nepal last year for the last 12 months. So, and I want to thank the Nepalese people to trust Viber and to enjoy our product, and we want to do more for them. So honestly, this decision is more about our brand and our image. The impact on our product is limited, and our efforts is like the last 10 years goes to make our product the best communication platform in the world. For Nepal specifically, what we are doing in Nepal is that we are trying to localize as much as possible the experience by bringing some local content. So, for example, we have launched a user interface in Nepalese language because we saw that we were originally used more by people like you speaking a very good English, but a lot of people in Nepal may need some Nepalese interface. So we launched that. We also partner with the local authorities, local health authorities to provide COVID-19 content. And we also partner with the UN for a women initiative in Nepal. We partner with many banks that have implemented chatbots for Nepalese users. So all this is an effort to make Viber as local as possible for Nepalese people. And it's also another difference with our competition. With we accept the idea that our product be different from a country to another, and we are doing as much as we can to make people in Nepal feel Viber as their home product, the product that that is connected to their culture and their value. And we have this kind of strategy in other countries as well. But it's important for us to go on with our path. And after all, this decision about Facebook is um, will not remain as a key element of the history of Viber.
Like you said, Nepal. Viber has a sizable user base in Nepal, and the app caters also to the local market, specifically with the very recent, like you said, rollout of Nepal UI. Does Viber have any new features in the work for users in Nepal?
Well, as I said, um, as I said, we have many local partnership that are important. For example, with banks like Nabil Bank, Nick Asia, NMB, Global IME, Lakshmi Bank, and all those partnerships are the same objective, which is really to bring a local service to the users and to bring them more value on top of communication. We are also we are also happy to we have started and we are calling them to speed up those discussions with the telecom operators of Nepal, because we really want to like we have in most of the countries where we operate, very good relationship with the telecom that help basically to build common offers to reduce the costs of usage of the data, especially in countries like Nepal, where the average income is not very high, and then some people are struggling to pay to cover the cost of data, and we think that it's a basic need for people. So we really want to do as much effort as possible with the local telecom to reduce the cost of usage of our platform. At Viber, we basically think that once you have some food and the shelter to put your family in, the two next basic needs are education and communication. So, and obviously, communication can help to educate as well. We have done, for example, a lot during this COVID-19 situation. In many countries, Viber has been used by schools and education organizations to provide their service. So it's very important that we improve and we develop the better relationship with the local telecom in Nepal to try to build offers together, and we are ready to make a lot of efforts to get there. We have done those kind of discussions and partnership. We had about 50 to 60 partnership with telecom operator in the rest of the world, and it's beneficial for the users. So we really want to improve this part as well.
That means we can expect that in near future. You're working out some
So,
packages with Nepal Telecom and Ncell. Though there are other players as well.
sorry, what?
You are bringing some packages with the help of, in coordination with Nepal Telecom and Ncell, the major telecom players. So we can expect that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not on my hands only. I'm very we have started discussion with those companies, and we really want to bring the best to the users. If we take other countries like in the emerging world, like Myanmar, for example, in Southeast Asia, or Sri Lanka, or in some countries in the Middle East, or in some countries in Eastern Europe, we have built those partnerships with local telecoms, and it's something which is beneficial for everyone, beneficial for the telecom, beneficial for the users, beneficial for Viber, because basically what we do, we basically adjust our offers and adjust our services, our meaning our common services between the telecom providing the data and Viber providing the services on top of the data, the OTT. We bring a better service for lower cost. And the benefit is for everyone, because basically because of the lower cost, the users start to create more usage and more biggest variety of experience, and then it brings a new ecosystem to this. I'll give you a concrete example. The banking services, for example. If the cost of data is a problem, users will not trigger those services or will not use these services as much as they can be used in other countries. As soon as the cost of data is decreased, then those services become very important for the users. The usage explode, and then when the usage explode, it's a value creation, which can be shared in many ways between the different partners, between the bank, between the telco, between the communication platform. And this is what we are looking at. We are looking at bringing new value-added services to the users in Nepal in the same way that they are available in the Western world. And for this, we have to unlock this hurdle, which is for some population, the cost of data and the cost of accessing high-speed internet in the country. And then this is something that we are happy to work and discuss with telecom around the world, and we are happy to do it in Nepal as well. And I hope that those discussions will lead to something beneficial for everyone, and first and foremost, the users, of course.
For a country like Nepal, which is earthquake prone and there's flood every year and this landslide, such messaging apps, which like Rakuten Viber, they are very much a common thing or very much a must thing for the people. And with this pandemic situation, it has given a new dimension to the digital era. What we say is new normal. So what do you think? How can a small country like Nepal in South Asia, which is earthquake prone, which is landslide and flood prone country, get maximum benefit from Rakuten Viber kind of things?
Well, again, I really think that we're just at the beginning of the journey here. If you look at countries that have been a little bit more developed or quicker developed in those topics, 80%, 90% of the population are using smartphone, and in some countries, 99% of those smartphones are equipped with one of the messaging app, or in general, 70% of the smartphones are equipped with 3 messaging apps. As I said, it's communicating is a basic need. As soon as you have food and a shelter, you need to communicate. This is what you really need. And I don't see why Nepal would not evolve in the same direction, and why I don't see why we wouldn't see in the next 3 to 5 years 90% of Nepalis equipped with a smartphone and equipped with a messaging app and able to communicate. And we want to do as much as we can to get there. We're not alone, of course. Of course, the device manufacturers and the telcos have a big role to play, because they need to be able to invest in new technology that will reduce the cost of accessing this kind of technology. But it's happening. For example, you may know that Rakuten, our group in Japan, has developed a new technology, a new telecom operator, which is the 4th telecom operator in Japan, but it's not a telecom operator like the other ones. They have implemented a new technology that decreased by 80% the cost of the network for a 5G network, which means that the cost of the gigabyte will be decreased by 5 for the users. And to be very honest, the launch offer that has been pushed to the market in April is basically free unlimited data for 1 year. And even when you look at the regular price after this promotional period, it's going to be $20 a month in a market where the average price is $100 a month. So this is happening. This is happening today. New technology could provide services at a much lower price than it is today. Devices are going in the same direction. The more we sell devices in the Western world, the better the cost will be for the entire world. So we can expect in the next 3 to 5 years to see Nepalese people, even with the people with low income, to have a smartphone in hand and to have access to a good messaging app like Viber, to be able to communicate with their family, to be able to send all form of content, but also to be able to communicate with their businesses and with the companies they want to interact with. their telco, their bank, their news provider, their e-commerce companies, their a lot of things will go through those platforms. I really think that the messaging app is the master app on phone, and Nepal may be a couple of years behind the Western world, but it's not that far. It's not a matter of 20 years. It's a matter of 3 to 5 years to get to the exact same point, and probably actually quicker than other countries. So we are very excited by all those developments, and that's the reason why we think that we want to invest in Nepal and in other countries, because we think that the emerging world is evolving faster than the Western world.
But when I say small economy, I also mean to say the access to net and the cost also, that you a little bit touched upon about the cost. How can Rakuten Viber help the? Of course, it's not in your hand to decrease the cost, but how can you help push the operators, let's say like telecoms or other banks, to bring the cost down so that it will be much more access. Most of the people have the access, and it can be more. You can have more users.
So that was I was explaining. There is a lot of new technology coming to the market, and then those technology will be progressively proposed to the world, and especially in the emerging markets. So the new network that Rakuten is building in Japan, for example, which is 80% less investment than any network, is a network which is completely cloud-based, which means that you don't need the same level of technology to bring the service. When you add up this kind of technology to other technologies that are satellite-based technologies, at Rakuten we have made another investment in satellite technology company, which is covering now the entire planet, especially to access with high-speed internet remote areas, so outside the cities. When you combine all those investments, you see that solutions are coming. And Viber is providing, on top of those network services, OTT services, that basically emphasize the value of those technologies. The telecom in Nepal are looking at those technologies. We know they're looking at those technologies. It's just a matter of accessing them. It's just a matter of letting others implement it first, those technologies, to make sure that they work. But those technology will spread out around the world. And I'm 100% sure that the cost of data, the cost of gigabyte in Nepal will be divided by 10 in the next 5 years, for sure. Just like it has been divided by 10 in India, for example, just like it is divided by 5 now in Japan, etc., etc. And we have seen that in other countries. So I'm not predicting something crazy. I'm just looking at what's happening in some countries, and I know it's going to happen everywhere in the world. It's just a matter of getting the local players to make to understand those evolutions, and to understand how these evolutions are not threat to their existence, but actually opportunities that we can provide together. To be very clear and specific, 10 years ago when we started this journey at Viber, we were seen by telcos as a competition, even parasites. I met a CEO of a telco a long time ago who told me, you guys are parasites. You, the WhatsApp, the Skype, the Viber, we are parasites. And now we are partners. What happened in between? The revenue model of telcos changed. 10 years ago, the revenue model was based on minutes per communication, per call. Now, in the Western world, the revenue model of telcos is based on the gigabytes consumed. And in emerging markets, we're still markets, and Nepal is one of them, where the revenue of the telco is still highly based on minutes of communication. It will become much more on data, and then cooperation will be easier. India is a good example of this. Look at what Jio did in India by providing data gigabyte at a much lower price. They are now the first telecom operator in their country, and they are providing a lot of service OTT services on their network.
Thank you, Djamel Agwa, CEO of Rakuten Viber. Thank you for talking to Karwar National Economic Daily, Karwar YouTube, karwardaily.com, english.karwardaily.com. On behalf of Karwar Daily, editor of Karwar Daily, Kuwait Chalise, and our MD, Mr. Sisip Bhatta, would like to thank you. Thank Mr. Djamel Agwa, the CEO of Rakuten Viber, Lana, and we would like to work together in future with Rakuten Viber. Maybe we can come up with something like the newspaper and Rakuten Viber can collaborate and work together in the future. Thank you very much.